You're listening to Hawk Talk with former Seahawks wide receiver Michael Bumpus. Powered by Seahawks.com. Now, here's your host, Nasser Kyobe.
Welcome into another edition of Hawk Talk. The Seahawks get it done in prime time, beating the Commanders 38-14 bump, and it really wasn't that close.
Nah, it wasn't. That 14 is a facade. That 38 really should be like a 45. You know what I mean? But second half slowed down a bit. But when you start the way that they started, man, it's hard to come back from that.
1,000%. I started the podcast against the Texans last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, with the same thing. I just reiterating things that Coach McDonald says.
Yeah.
A style nobody wants to play, through, not around, decisive, relentless, shocking. They are embodying those words each and every week now, and they're going to be scary good because I'm telling you, that was domination from the first snap to the last. And here's an invitation out to everybody. You can join the bandwagon. Join it now. I'm just telling you, I want you to get on the train before it leaves the station.
Quick.
You know what I'm saying?
Get your ticket.
And we'll keep allowing people on because I want people to enjoy this football team because we're seeing a really good one. But I'm telling you, something special is happening here in Seattle. So I'm excited. The Hawks extend their franchise record to 10 consecutive road wins. Insane. Coach McDonald now improves to 11-1 on the road and becomes the third head coach in NFL history to win 11 of his first 12 road games. Insane. I mean, this team is rolling right now, so we'll jump right into it. What had happened?
See, what had happened was
On Hawk Talk.
Hawks forced a punt on Washington's first possession and went on a super impressive 12-play, 90-yard drive, ending with a Torrey Horton 4-yard touchdown. The Seahawks overcame penalties on the drive, which was really impressive. They had a 1st and 25, 2nd and 17. Penalty on that 3rd and 1, no problem. They figured out, get it done. Then on the very next drive, Jaden Daniels was intercepted by Ty Okada. He's got balance. For those who don't know,
40-inch vert.
There you go. Woo. Come on, man. Look at his pro day. He's balling out. We'll talk about him a little bit later, but really great to see Ty doing what he's doing, and Devin Witherspoon helped force that play with that pressure on the edge.
Yeah, I liked it too, man. It was a blitz from the slot, and the way he did it, it was like he hid behind the tackle, and then last minute shot off the B gap, and Daniels was just not ready for it. And then the Hawks came right back with another great drive. 7 plays, 60 yards, ended with a 25-yard touchdown to who? Torrey Horton once again making the score 14-0. He just entered the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chad. I'm just saying. He just entered that chat. Insult to injury on the ensuing kickoff. Brandon Peely, let's go, forced a fumble, and it was a cover by Connor O'Toole, something that has not been done all year for the Seahawks. Force a fumble and recover it.
Love to see it happen on special teams. Love to see it happen to Brandon Peely, who was just on the huddle last week. So love what we're seeing from him. And also, the new kickoff rules, maybe in the olden times, I don't think Brandon's running down on kickoff, but I love the way he can be out there now. If you watch that play, super physical, good luck blocking him from a 5 yards out and be like, okay, good luck. And
D linemen are going to be prime on that team now because they're big enough to run through a man and they're quick enough to give you a good 15, 20-yard sprint. This just provided more job opportunities for big defensive linemen.
No, I love it. And Jay Harbaugh's obviously ahead of the curve. They've been looking at this stuff, and you can mix it up because before it was a very certain type of people that were on the kickoff team. Now, to your point, that can absolutely change. But after that bump, on the very next play, Sam Darnold hits Elijah Arroyo, absolute dart, 26-yard touchdown. That made the score 21-0, and the route was on. We'll break that play down a little bit later.
Yeah, the Commanders will go 3-0 on the next drive, and the Seahawks came right back with yet another touchdown, this time a 60-yard bomb to who? Cody White. We got Cody White scoring his first touchdown. You got Arroyo scoring his first touchdown. Then Ty Okada getting his first interception. So Cody White, that made the score 28-0. The Commanders will finally get on the board with a 10-play, 69-yard drive that ended with a 1-yard touchdown run by Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and that was literally the only thing that happened. Ernest Jones gets a little banged up, and things change a little bit there. The Hawks would get the ball back, though, with 53 seconds left in the half, and I love this part. Sam Darnold links up with JSN for 2 clutch catches. We're going to talk about him because he continues to do stuff that has literally never been done in this franchise history, so we'll get into that with JSN. But that led to a 41-yard field goal from Jason Myers, and the halftime score was 31-7 Seahawks.
The third quarter started with 2 punts, then Sam Darnold made his only mistake of the night. He threw an interception to Cody White. This is how I justify this interception. You're up 31-7. You're having a heck of a day. Everything is flowing. So, you know what? I'm going to roll left and try to just squeeze this one in there real quick. Threw it behind Cody White. I think he doesn't take that risk if it wasn't 31-7, but nonetheless, you got to take care of the football. The Commanders would not take advantage as they turned the ball over on downs of the following possession. Then the Seahawks would put the final nail in the coffin as they went 9 plays, 60 yards, ending with a 1-yard run from not K9, not Zach Charbonnet, A.J. Barner, the barnyard, man, that made the score 38-7.
Yeah, the route was on. I mean, this game at no point felt close because the Seahawks put it on it from the jump. Commanders will get a garbage time touchdown late in the game to make the final score 38-14. And then, man, you hate to see it. Jaden Daniels goes down, badly hurt his elbow, dislocation there. Need to be helped off the field. He rejected the cart, so praying for a speedy recovery for him.
Yes, sir.
You hate to see that. Dan Quinn's getting a lot of heat for that. It's football. That is a play that happens so often. It's hard to really fault him for being in the game. It is what it is. And then also bad luck. It looks like they lost their corner for the year.
Yep.
You lose McCaffrey for the year, so tough times down there in Washington. But anyway, Bump, this was a beatdown on national television, and I'm so happy the Seahawks. I think the rest of the nation has now been like, oh, there's a team in Seattle that's playing ball again, and it's welcome to the party. I'm happy everyone is now seeing how good this football team is.
They outgained the Commanders 418-290, won the turnover battle 2-1, scored on every possession in the first half. The Hawks were 7 for 11 on third downs. Thank you, baby Jesus. Because before that, there were 3 for 26 2 previous weeks. Nice to see the third down get changed, and then nice to hear on a Monday national voices talking about what's going on in Seattle.
Yeah, and saying the right thing. Like we were on NFL Network a couple weeks ago. They're calling him Mike McDaniel. They're not knowing about guys. Take note, this team is doing some really good things, Bump. But at the end of the day, what's the biggest thing you learned from this game?
Biggest thing I learned is that when you have certain pieces, you're allowed to do certain things. And Mike McDonald is still getting creative with his defense. We saw Leo in a 2-point stance a bunch of times. I love seeing that. That's creative. Now, it's not like it's never happened before. Right. But for him to say, you know what, Leo has a good pass rush. We don't have to put him in a 2-point on the outside. Let's do it on the inside. And also love the pick plays he was running with that defensive line as well. These aren't things that Mike McDonald hasn't been doing, but the more you get into the season, the more you see these wrinkles happening a bit more often. So just the defense is still getting better and evolving. That's what I learned and like to see.
Which is scary good. And this offense, again, we were not talking about this offense being as good as they are, and they're scary good. All 3 phases of this team, we don't talk about special teams at the time, but special teams continues to make plays. So this team, when all 3 phases are working well, you're seeing a 6-2 football team who's leading their division. So let's get into people who made plays all over the field.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Playmakers.
Show them what time it is. Holy catfish!
Got to start with Sam Darnold again. He's leading this thing on offense. 21-24, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, just 1 interception. Started the game with 17 straight completions. That tied Warren Moon's franchise record for consecutive completed passes. Unfortunately, the next one was incomplete, but he was balling out. First half, he was perfect. 16-16, 282 yards, 4 touchdowns, a perfect 158.3 passer rating. He now has 18 games with 100-plus passer rating since 2024. That's the most in the NFL. Darnold showing once again he should be MVP consideration because he's doing everything. This offensive line is protecting him super well, so I don't want to take any credit away from that. But the times there is pressure, he's making plays with his feet, doing everything right. And Sam Darnold is just out of his mind right now.
Did you hear the story about he felt like he was jinxed?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to beat the record. Well, someone said something to him about it, and he said he jinxed him. But no, that's great to see and to hear, man. He's putting up historic numbers, and it shouldn't be ignored. So I'm happy that he did it on a national stage, rocking with or going against the Commanders. Now, let's talk about JSN. 8 receptions, 129 yards, became the first player in franchise history to record 4 consecutive 100-yard receiving games. Still blows my mind. Steve Largent, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Doug Baldwin, Bobby Ingram. I mean, the list goes on and on of good receivers that have been through here. He also tied Steve Largent for the most 100-yard receiving games in a single season in franchise history with 6. Something tells me he's probably going to break that too. Passed DK Metcalf for the most receptions in a player's first 3 seasons in franchise history with 221 of those things. Jason joined Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce as the only player under the age of 25 with 900-plus receiving yards in their first 8 games of the season. I'm not done. He also became the 5th player in the Super Bowl era with at least 75 receiving yards in each of his first 8 games of the season, joining Adam Thielen. Goodness gracious, Adam, my bad, Thielen. Man, yeah, I know you. You know me. Let's go. Antonio Brown, Michael Irvin, and Dwight Clark. He now has 948 receiving yards on the season, just 52 yards away from the 1,000-yard mark. The franchise record is 1,303. All right, that's done.
Yeah, I mean, this is unreal. This is every week you're waiting for some team to take this away. It's not rocket science in terms of people know coming into the game, hey, we got to take away JSN.
Yeah.
Can't get beat over the top. All this stuff. Teams are trying to do it every single week, and they can't do it.
It ain't working.
JSN is on a whole nother level, and I love what we're seeing because we could be watching history. Is he going to break the record of 2000? Who knows? But it's just fun watching it, so I'm just going to enjoy every single week of what we're seeing. You mentioned earlier Torrey Horton. You put his name in the hat for Rookie of the Year. 4 receptions, 48 yards, 2 touchdowns. What I loved about him is that, Cooper Kupp was not playing last week, so who steps up? Torrey Horton. We've seen stuff from him each and every week, whether it's in the special teams game or as a wide receiver. So love what we're seeing from Torrey Horton. And then Cody White. He had just the 1 reception, but for 60 yards and a touchdown. He was elevated from the practice squad because of injuries in our receiver room. Every time that man is given an opportunity, he balls out. Last year, he gets activated against the Rams, blocks a punt, has a nice long catch up the sideline. He's a great athlete. We've talked about this. He's one of the best sneaky athletes on the team. So I'm just super happy for those guys balling out.
I want to say Cody had a return, too, in this game. I remember him giving a little high step on the sideline.
He did.
Yeah, okay, Cody, go get it. Next up, Ty Okada. 5 tackles, 1 pass defended, 1 interception. The man has vert, and keeping his toes in, too, on the sideline. That was crucial. The space awareness has been on point for that dude. He's played more snaps than J. Love this year. He's out there. He's in them streets. And also Drake Thomas had 8 tackles, 1 sack, 1 QB hit, 1 TFL, and 1 pass defended. This young man has taken that linebacker spot and ran with it. And last but not least, you finished with the big cat.
I mean, he is unblockable. Yeah. Literally, it's shocking that he doesn't make every single play because you're watching these offensive linemen just have a terrible time trying to block this dude. 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 TFL, 1 quarterback hit. But his impact in the game, it goes well beyond the stat sheet. It's unreal. And going back to Ty and Drake, at one point it was a feel-good story. We're happy, that they're succeeding in the NFL. We are so beyond that. These are legitimate starters in the National Football League making plays. So I love what they're doing each and every week. Bump, what do you see from the receivers?
All right, wide out roundup. We already talked about one, JSN, 129 yards, no touchdowns, but it's all good. The homie took care of that for him. He had
only had a 26-yard long.
Only. Wow.
Oh, man.
That's the first game without going at least 36?
Yeah, so I'm like,
all right, man, poor guy. 129, though. He's good to go. Cody White, we talked about him. He had 1 big reception for 60 and a touchdown. Torrey Horton had 4 for 48, 2 touchdowns. Elijah Arroyo had himself a decent game, 2 catches, 1 touchdown. A.J. Barner had 3 for 24. Zach Charbonnet 1 for 21, K9 2 for 19. Overall, this group produced 330 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's without JSN crossing the goal line, getting to the paint.
Yeah, I mean, they're spreading the wealth out, even though JSN is always going to lead the team in receiving because he's the best in the league right now. Just love what we're seeing from that. But again, we're going to get back to some of our favorite plays of the game. And there's a lot of good plays going on right now, but we're going to focus on Sam Darnold connecting with Torrey Horton for a 25-yard touchdown.
Looking at a 3rd down and 8. Charbonnet stands beside Sam Darnold in the shotgun. Darnold takes the snap. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks! It's Torrey Horton, his 2nd touchdown catch of the night from 25 yards out. And that was just a beautiful lofted pass into the back corner of the right side of the end zone. Torrey Horton comes up big. Injuries have hurt this receiving core. It hasn't hurt Torrey Horton nor Jackson Smith and Jigba. The Seahawks on top now, 13-0.
All right, so the Seahawks come out in an empty formation, right? You have Zach Charbonnet outside as well, but before the snap, you get into another motion. You got Cody White who comes down to the bottom of the screen, makes it trips on the bottom. You get Zach Charbonnet in the backfield. Once again, the motion shows or tells Sam Darnold they are in a man defense. Now, the focus is going to be on Torrey Horton, but this is the JSN effect as well. All right, JSN attracts 2 defenders. He is being double teamed, so that's why Torrey Horton is able to inside release, and it looks like no one's there because you know what? No one is there. They committed a safety and a DB to JSN, but let's focus on Torrey Horton. Good job with the inside speed release. Didn't spend a lot of time on his release because he knows I got space and opportunity over there. All I have to do is inside release and get vertical. He does exactly that. Doesn't allow the defender to get his hands on him, gets inside, gets on the hash, and what I love about it too is that he stays vertical. A lot of times young receivers get impatient. They want to break this off early, and the timing's all jacked up. Gets inside, stays vertical, snaps it out of 45. This is going to be the easiest touchdown of his career, honestly. But all this happens because of what happens beneath him. Got JSN who's just running a little stop route. The safety and the corner stays with him, allowing this to look like essentially a cover 0. Horton over the top, way to stay vertical, easy throw and catch. And you look up the offensive line, you get some protection there as well. Sam Darnold gets into his drop. The right side collapses a little bit, but now this is where Abe wins. You wash him. He gets too deep. You put him in the dirt. You got Bradford who has good protection as well. The left side is is good. Sam Darnold looks nice and comfy. Easy toss.
Yeah, when looking at this, I'm just shocked how much man the Commanders played.
It was ridiculous.
Against this team.
What were they thinking?
The strengths, it's just surprising to me. Looking at it, too, great release by Horton. Just runs away from the DB there. He doesn't get a hand on. He's almost impressed. His feet are kind of in quicksand there. He gets beat. And then you look, shout out to Gray Zabel. Finding work, right? Out there just good rush by former Seahawk Jacob Martin. He gets upfield a little bit. Gray Zabel comes over, boom, go to the ground. We're done here. Clean it up. Nice clean pocket for Sam Darnold to just do what he's been doing. And again, I would love for teams to play this much man against the Seahawks all year long, because they will win each and every single week. So love to see what we're seeing there. And again, I don't blame them. If I'm the safety, I'm putting 2 guys on JSN.
For sure. Yep.
If it's a man look underneath and I'm free, I'm finding where 11 is. It makes sense. But again, that's how dangerous his team can be, because Torrey Horton keeps doing that. They're going to talk teams out of playing man. All right, our next play that we're going to look at, Sam Darnold finds Elijah Arroyo for a 26-yard touchdown.
JSN is wide right. Looks like he has some double coverage. Sam is under center. He's looking back to the left side. He's going to throw down the seam. Got a man out there. The ball is caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. The rookies are going nuts tonight. It's Arroyo who makes the catch. The touchdown reception from 26 yards out. And Elijah Arroyo, the rookie out of Miami, who can do so many things, just put the Seahawks up now 20-0, awaiting the 21st point. And the locals are not happy here outside of Washington, D.C.
Yeah, the locals ain't going to be happy about what they see at the bottom of the screen either. I know Arroyo scores his touchdown. We'll get to him. But down below, you got JSN with one of the most filthy releases I've seen since 8-9 was over here. Ooh. Doug Baldwin doing his thing. Man coverage, gives him an in, gives him an out, and he is gone. But also, look at that safety. All right, the ball is in the middle of the field, and that safety is cheated over to whose side? JSN once again. And what Sam Darnold does a great job of doing is, when the ball is snapped, safety, I'm staring that side, because I know why you're over there. I know they're in man. I know you're going to try to stay over the top there. So I'm going to keep you there with my eyes. Gets into that drop back, looks to the right. So now let's focus on Arroyo. Hand in the dirt, does a good job outside releasing clean. These guys played a lot of man, but they didn't get hands on nobody. Mm-hmm. It was like press, free release. As a receiver, thank you, come again. I'll do this every single time. So what Arroyo does is he gets to his landmark. I guarantee you his landmark was top of the numbers. Outside release gets to the top of the numbers and now stays skinny. That safety's already taken care of by the eyes of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold tosses a dime. B. Walt said this during the broadcast. The ball caught Arroyo. It landed right between his bicep and his forearm, and all he had to do was not drop that thing, thread the needle. 3 defenders around him when it's all said and done, but it's all pre-snap recognition, keeping the safety there with his eyes, and the rest is history.
Well, you started with Jason. That is one of the most filthy releases. You mentioned 89. Doug Baldwin was the best I've ever seen at getting off the ball. If you're going to be in this much man and you're at the line of scrimmage and press and you don't touch anybody, good luck. Especially against Jackson Smith-Njigba or anyone else for that matter. Number 23, Trey Amiss, had a tough day.
He sure did.
He had a tough day on that side. Absolutely cooked on that first one. And then, I love the clean pocket again for Sam Darnold. Mm-hmm. No pressure there, and that's an absolute dart. That is amazing play. Pretty good coverage on Arroyo. Like that ball, he's right there, and just, again, a better throw, better offense, beats good defense, and my goodness. I mean, this is what you want to see.
Yeah.
We're so spoiled right now where this football team is and how they're playing. But this is tape, once again, if you're going to play man, good luck. You better get hands on, like you said, because if you don't, at that point, you might as well grab him. But here's the thing, Bup. They couldn't grab him if they tried.
Right.
That's how much separation Jason is causing right there. He gets it done. The Seahawks, obviously Elijah Arroyo gets it done everywhere around the board. Love what we're seeing. This offense is hitting on all cylinders, and that brings us to how they got it done, our favorite formation, victory formation.
Here comes the Seahawk offense onto the field, and the Vikings defense trudging out there, knowing that one kneel down and the Seahawks are going to wind the clock down and win this one.
It's the victory formation on Hawk Talk.
Domination from the start. You scored in the first 5 possessions of the first half. That connection between Sam Darnold, Jason, we were just talking about it, is elite. Darnold perfect in the first half, 4 touchdowns. I mean, you could fight over who's the MVP between those two. I mean, it's unreal. Obviously, we know it's not a receiver award. That's not going to happen. But they're playing at that level, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns, Sam looking smooth, Jason looking smooth. What's there not to love? And Jason rewriting the record books, man. Week after week, he continues to show why he is among the best in the NFL at his position, man. Teams, they want to try to take him away, but they can't. Prime example, we saw safeties over the top. We saw a tight bracket, a bracket from deep. It don't matter. He's going to get his. He's going to get it done. And big ups to Kubiak, too. Like, he's designing these concepts, and other receivers are doing their job, which kind of help spread the love around. No, Cooper Kupp, don't worry about it. Torrey Horton, he stepped up in his place, man. 2 touchdowns and continues to show how he can help this team. He was a 5th-round pick. All right, I had him at a 2nd-round grade. This dude is better than where he was drafted, and he's showing that so far this year.
Without question, I think the Seahawks said that same thing, too. If he doesn't get injured at Colorado State, he's probably in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
But, again, love what we're seeing from him defensively. Ty Okada stepped up huge with Julian Love on IR. Can't wait for Julian to come back because we know how good he is. And that's the thing. This team is still not healthy.
Yeah. This
team is still not healthy. You had an injury to Josh Jobe, had a concussion. Week 1, came back in there, played good football. Love what we're seeing from 27. So everyone is playing good football. The Hawks have playmakers bump on every level of the defense and completely blown out expectations on offense.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's still early. Got a lot of season left, but you're taking the right steps. I described it as this was like the test before the midterm. It's like a chapter test, okay? You pass a chapter test. You got the midterm coming up in a couple weeks. Got a pop quiz next week against the Arizona Cardinals. Just keep passing the test and keep proving people wrong.
Yeah, no, I love, and again, this coaching staff, this building's going to be ready. The Seahawks are not going to look past the Cardinals because despite their they're going to play tonight, but despite their record, they're not getting blown out.
Nah, they're close.
It's the NFL. This NFC West, once again, one of the toughest divisions in football. So each week there's going to be a test, but the Seahawks are playing great football. 6-2 in first place. Hopefully they keep that going. We'll be talking to you guys on Thursday, previewing those Arizona Cardinals. He's Michael Bumpus from Nasser. This has been Hawk Talk.